All right. Good evening. We are on the East Coast. I'm on the East Coast anyway, so it's evening for me, but I think it is mid-afternoon for our amazing guests this evening slash afternoon. I am so excited to be hosting this event today and having what I know is going to be such a worthwhile conversation that many people are going to find not just value, but also find this very interesting and want to learn more. That is my hope that folks would reach out to Dr. Rod Bastani. My name is Sally Traori. If you are joining us, I am founder and CEO of Resi Prep 360. This is a program that really focuses on helping prospective residency candidates build a personalized plan and helping them secure a residency position and giving them some of the tools to help them become successful in that endeavor in that year or 2 years if they so desire. The reason why I am super excited today for this conversation is because the person we are going to meet today has a whole thing that I will not spoil and have him explain and introduce that is set up to assist students, pharmacists, seasons, and new all across that continuum. And it's why I am so super excited to introduce everybody to Dr. Rod Vastani, the founder of Pharmacist Preceptor. Welcome, Rod.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sally, for that introduction. And thank you, everyone, for joining in.
Yeah.
I just want to say thank you, Sally. Thank you, Resi Prep, for providing this platform onto which I can speak. I want to say thank you to everyone tuning in. I hope I can provide some value.
Yeah.
Call, and I know that everyone's busy with their schedule, so I do appreciate everyone taking the time. Thank you, Sally, for taking the time on your end. I know you're extremely busy with your work and what you do with Resi Prep.
Absolutely.
Yes, I'm excited to share all about Pharmacist Preceptor, what I've been up to with my career.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get the conversation going. I think there's a lot in store.
Yeah, thank you. It's my pleasure. I am extremely passionate and anti gatekeeping. And so, anybody who is doing anything at all that is helping others find their way and navigate this incredibly interesting period in the pharmacy profession, I am all about it. So, I want to say thank you for reaching out and wanting to set this up. With that being said, if you are joining us, I always check this in because I'm paranoid that I'm here talking and rambling on and folks cannot hear me. So if you can hear us, giving us a sign that we are coming across to you live and clear and crisp, that would be greatly appreciated. Let us know that you can hear us by commenting or putting up a like, anything to give me a sign that we are good before we dive in. So, with that being said, I wanted us to start with getting to know you, Rod.
Sure.
And yes, we got our signal. Folks can hear us beautifully.
Oh, great.
Awesome. Yes, I've got comments as well as people throwing up likes to let us know that they can hear us. Can we
Awesome.
please begin with some background and information about you, Dr. Bastani?
And
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
for sure. And please feel free to call me Rod, Dr. Bastani, pharmacist. I like to, come off as principal and, as a friend in this conversation. So for my story, I'm a Kansas City native. I was born and raised in Kansas to parents who immigrated from Iran. I had moved to Arizona and pursued higher education at the University of Arizona for undergrad, and then went on to graduating from the University of Arizona College of Pharmacy in 2015. I then went back to Kansas City to get licensed. I then made the big jump over to New York, where I'd worked in high volume stores all across the city in different neighborhoods, and then landed a staff pharmacist position on the Upper West Side, and then managed an independent pharmacy on the Upper West Side during the pandemic.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
yeah, and that was very, very tough. And towards the end of the pandemic, I had moved to Hawaii, and that's where I am right now.
Ah,
Um, so I've taken a 2,000-mile step back, if you will,
yeah.
career to see, to do a self-assessment,
Mhm.
actually, and to see, where I'm at in my career. And I think I was operating in a state of stress,
Yeah.
and with working in these high volume stores, I think it made me realize the path I was on, the career trajectory, what I was looking for, in life,
Yeah.
what's sustainable. But yeah, I'm right here in Hawaii now, and I started Pharmacist Preceptor.
Yeah. I want to say that I am absolutely jealous that Hawaii is where you get to call home right now. And we have Joycelyn saying, "Whoa, Hawaii, that's different." It is certainly different. I am totally jealous. I just am imagining waking up to like what I see on TV where I'm sure. So I wanted us to start. Well, first of all, like as you're describing your pharmacy journey, it
Yeah,
just sounds like you've had a lot of different exposures, community, independent, staff pharmacist, rotation, I mean, not rotation, staff pharmacist positions. I'm so accustomed to speaking with students. I apologize. I'm like rotations. You are like beyond that, for so far beyond that. But it sounds like your experience is really has been really, really different. But you mentioned something, and I really want us to like talk about that for like a hot second.
sure. Yeah,
Managing an independent pharmacy during the pandemic. I am interested in what that was like for you, as a person, mentally, like the hows of what it takes to have gone through that day in and day out. I would love, if it's okay, for you to share a little bit with us about that for the rest of us that were in the hospital and could only theoretically imagine what that must have been like.
sure. And I mean, this is not to discount anybody's experience during the pandemic. We were all affected
I'm sure.
in our own very way. With my personal experience working in New York during the pandemic,
Yeah.
yes, that was a moment of crisis
Mhm.
for the city. We were the epicenter at the time. There were morgues on the side of the street. There were hospitals on the water, tents set up at Central Park. It just became a very different landscape.
Yeah.
It almost turned into a war zone, and that, of course, the pandemic itself threw everybody um, off.
I'm
There,
sure.
yeah, and New York got hit really hard. At that time, I was also dealing with a family emergency. My dad was sick with brain cancer. It's still hard for me to talk about.
Oh
However,
my gosh.
yeah, it was a very tough time professionally and personally. Um, and with, I suppose, looking at the silver lining and
Yeah.
taking a step back and being objective, as a pharmacist in that position, I was able to roll out the COVID-19 vaccination and immunization program and help patients, New Yorkers, get
Yeah.
vaccinated against COVID. I was able to be of service to my community at
Mhm.
large and assist them during that time of need. A lot of people who had the money, the resources, they were able to pack up and leave New York to their
Yeah.
second homes upstate.
Yeah.
As people who didn't have those resources
Mhm.
to stay in the city and write it out,
Yeah.
decided to, yeah, be in the city to, fulfill my oath as a pharmacist, and I
Yes.
asked to be there for my father back in Kansas. But it really did take a toll on me professionally and personally, and it made me ask some questions, like whether if what I'm doing is sustainable, Where
Mhm.
is the support
Mhm.
within pharmacy, outside of pharmacy? Uh, and I think going outside of New York, coming to Hawaii,
Mhm.
taking a step back from all of that, and saying like, hey, what
Yeah.
happened? And learning from that. I hope with what I'm doing now,
Yeah.
we're all doing,
Yeah.
um, we're able to help one another
Mhm.
uh, be better
Yeah.
pharmacists and to advance the pharmacy profession together.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, that's first of all, you legit are like a superhero. I don't know if anyone I don't know if anyone says that to you often, but that is so remarkable. And first of all, thank you for the courage of to share your story with us. Um, I hope your father is doing well.
He unfortunately passed, and um, that was to be expected with
Yeah.
that type of prognosis that he had. Um, and it was bound to happen. I mean, even with COVID, there was
Right.
just suffering
It's
at
too
that time,
much.
and I couldn't, I couldn't stop COVID, nor could I,
Yeah.
stop what was going on with my dad. Um, and with that being said, there was a lot of suffering, but there comes joy from that suffering as well.
Mhm.
I can learn from those experiences and share those lived experiences, and hopefully, yeah, just be able to, yeah, just help pharmacists be better. If pharmacists can be better in their roles, they can help be better pharmacists to their patients. So I see a lot of value in that.
Yeah, and I think also even as people are commenting, I am very sorry for your loss. It's been almost 3 years for us with our fight in cancer in our family with my mom. So this is something that is very, very close to me as well. I am so sorry for your loss, but what I've also been able to learn about you is just one, that passion for wanting to be of service, and number two, your resilience. And I am certain that your father is incredibly proud of that person that you are today to be able to share yourself with all of us. Again, so sorry for your loss, Rod.
Thank
So
you.
like, and I think this transitions us really, really well into trying to understand what inspired you to create Pharmacist Preceptor. Um, Very, very curious to understand like what prompted or inspired you to make this really brave and bold decision to create Preceptor.
Yeah, I mean, I think going off of what we were just speaking about, I think we all have our own personal struggles when it comes to our professional and personal lives. I'm
Mhm.
so sorry to hear about what happened with your mom, with going through that
Yeah,
process. I can
yeah,
only imagine
thank you.
how tough it must have been for you.
Thank you.
This shows that each and every one of us have our
Mhm,
pain points.
mhm,
Um, and
mhm,
for myself, with my own pain points, working in community pharmacy, high volume retail,
mhm,
that's the sector that I know best. That was the sector that I was able to really excel in terms of looking at multi-dimensional wellness, work-life
mhm,
balance. Was this role? I had to really ask myself these hard questions. How
mhm,
is this role serving me with regards to my work-life balance, with regards to me being well,
mhm.
in all these different dimensions? It
Yeah.
did provide a steady paycheck. There was this one pharmacist on LinkedIn who had mentioned like working these type of roles in community pharmacy, retail settings, it's rather traumatic. And
Yeah.
something like clicked in me, and I was thinking like, was it traumatic?
Yeah.
Like for me, was it traumatic and to be in this mode of surviving,
Mhm.
mode of survival and just trying to get to the end of the shift to get to that next paycheck to pay rent.
Yeah.
Um, and I know that with our particular generation, with pharmacists coming out, there's a lot of student loan debt.
Yeah.
With financial freedom and flexibility, we can pursue what we truly want, what
Yeah.
we're passionate about.
Hmm.
Uh, so yes, with regards to Pharmacist Preceptor, so I came to a critical juncture in my own career. Do I want to go back into this role as a retail community pharmacist?
Hmm.
I mean, that's what I know. I
Yeah.
do well, but does that necessarily mean that it meets my own metrics? Does it fulfill other realms of my wellness?
Hmm.
And with regards to shaking up the status quo,
Yes.
um,
Yes.
we have
Talk
to
about it. Talk about it.
talk about it. I mean, it was a conversation, a hard conversation that I had to have with myself and say, you know what? I can either be the peacekeeper here at my own expense,
Hmm.
or I can, shake up the status quo in a positive way,
Yeah.
and do something that not only improves on my own career and my aspirations and what I want to achieve, but
Hmm.
the aspirations and desires and wants of people in the profession.
Yes.
Um,
It's
so
possible. It's possible to have both.
I know that this is not just a pharmacy related issue.
Hmm.
This involves a lot of different sectors across the board. Um, these companies that are out there, especially the large, chains, we feel tied to their rhetoric. We feel programmed to, we have to work a certain way. We're not able to work with autonomy. We're not
Yeah.
able to provide our own services the way that we see fit. And for me, like that, it it shouldn't be that hard. I mean, lawyers do it. I mean,
You would think.
doctors do it to an extent, but
Yeah.
pharmacists, I mean, for community pharmacists, I'm just talking
Yeah.
community pharmacists. So there may be some pharmacy roles out there, and that's wonderful. We need more of those. But
More. Yeah.
community pharmacists who are working retail jobs,
Hmm.
are they really, you know, are they working in a silo, like, and meeting their metrics, or are they able to provide the care as to how they see fit?
Yeah. And that's completely right. It's not that that doesn't exist, but those pharmacists are literally unicorns. Pharmacists that are able to think of, conceptualize, design, and implement patient care programs and services the way they want to and the way that they perceive, or assessing their patient's need and then adjusting their programs and services to deliver care in a very personalized and targeted manner. Those pharmacists are unicorn. That's not the case for the masses.
Yeah.
And so I agree with you in the fact that, yeah, that, and I think it's amazing that you were actually even able to arrive at that idea, because for some, it takes a really, really long time to come to that realization. It's why I am pro residency, but I also tell every single student and candidate I work with, you have to take charge of your career. Like a residency isn't going to like fling these doors open for you. A
Mm-mm.
professional career strategy and having a roadmap and having mentors and having people that have walked the same path to guide you is
Yes.
paramount. Um, and so tell us what pharmacist preceptor is like. And also, like, one other thing is shaking up the status quo. Like the moment people hear it, they're like, oh my God, like that's it. It doesn't, to me, have a negative connotation. To me, it should have a positive connotation. It should excite anybody to hear that someone wants to shake up the status quo, because it usually means change in a positive way, change through
Mhm.
design, we can accomplish so much more by staying open and big in the ideas that we try to work on.
Yes.
So tell us, what is Pharmacist Preceptor?
Sure.
From the level of, I always reach out to like my second and third year student pharmacists that are still not even thinking about post pharmacy yet, but also the residents and then the new practitioner. But who is Pharmacist Preceptor for, and what is it that you hope to do with this?
Yes. So, Pharmacist Preceptor, we're a team of service specialists, work life strategists who help pharmacists and pharmacy students, pharmacy graduates realize their professional and personal goals to achieve work life balance, which I was talking about, and multidimensional wellness. Uh,
Yeah.
we do that through personalized and tailored services. Each and every one of us, we have our own pain points. There's no one
Yeah.
size fits all.
No.
If I were to ask you, Sally, what are your pain points in your career? You're going to have your own, you know,
List.
set
Yes.
of issues and struggles. And
Mhm.
Pharmacist Preceptor, I envision it that the team is able to rally together to
Yeah.
address those pain points and to make things easier
Yeah.
for you to perform your duties as a pharmacist, for you to be fulfilled
Yeah.
professionally, personally. Our vision is to have pharmacists, for them to have a support network via our portal that follows them wherever they are in their career
Yeah.
in the world. For
Yeah.
me, I was moving from Kansas to Arizona to New
Yeah.
York, Hawaii. So I left my support network in Tucson after I graduated. I left my support network in New York
Yeah.
after I left. If we can put that under one roof,
Yeah.
this preceptor, I think that is game changing.
Absolutely.
I know that we have like email and LinkedIn and we have different social media platforms,
Mhm.
but those are, I mean, that's email. We have email, but then we have like social media platforms. I think there has to be a better way of engaging
Mhm.
um, professionally with our support network. Uh,
Yeah.
and with that being said, when I was talking about like pharmacists being autonomous,
Yeah.
I want them to be able to deliver their own services
Mhm.
in the way that they see fit for them to achieve financial freedom and flexibility earlier on so that they're able
Mhm.
to do what they want to do. After I graduated from pharmacy school, I wanted to actually get a residency spot. It didn't happen for me,
Mhm.
which is fine.
Yeah.
Um, but it kind of left me to my own devices, and I was on that 6 month deadline. I had to pay back student loans.
Yeah.
I actually had an interest in working with this startup. Um, however, with getting licensed,
Mhm.
figuring out the next step, and making sure that I make those student loan payments,
Mm.
fell into a community pharmacist role,
Oh.
pharmacy. So the questions that I should have been having, the conversations I should have been having with
Mhm.
myself, with others, I didn't have that. I didn't have those interactions or conversations. Um, and 8, 10 years down the road,
Yeah.
myself at this juncture, like,
Mm.
okay, like, was this the role that I was truly passionate about? Was this role the one that I was looking to do for a long period of time?
Yeah.
So yes, pharmacist preceptor. Sorry to get off track, but
It's okay.
tailored services. We want to make sure that pharmacy professionals, students, graduates, pharmacists, seasoned pharmacists like
Mhm.
myself, 10 years down the road, that they know what their goals are,
Yeah.
that they know their potential
Mhm.
to to achieve work-life balance.
Mhm.
And yeah, and that multidimensional wellness. I know that our services right now, they cater to like occupational wellness, like CV editing, interviewing skills. We
Yeah.
have to start somewhere, and we want to
Yeah.
build those services so we
Absolutely.
can help those other dimensions of wellness.
Absolutely. And the reason why I really, really love what you are doing is like my niche is working with these folks for like 8 months. And of course, we cultivate a relationship, we stay in touch later. But the idea of clearly articulating and identifying what your professional goals are and
Mm.
having a community and group of people that can guide you through how do you actually develop a strategic plan and how you meet and accomplish these goals, that's one of the things that I am like really really thrilled that Pharmacist Preceptor is going to be working to build, develop, and provide to anybody in the profession, regardless of where they are in their
Exactly.
continuum. And it's why, like, I'm very, very excited about that piece of it. How do we show up? How do we show up? How do those of us that are super interested in pharmacy education, that are interested in supporting you, because I 100% believe in what you're trying to do and the need for it. The need for it is so, so, so real. So many people are just twisting in the wind. It's just about paying the loans off. They literally don't believe that it's a real thing to be able to do the job and be fulfilled and be emotionally healthy and be mentally healthy. Like, it just doesn't seem like all of those things could in fact come together. And the fact that you, Pharmacist Preceptor, wants to target that and help people, oh my gosh, mind blown. I love it. So how do we show up for you and help you grow, develop, and move this mission forward?
Yes, so it takes a community.
100%.
I appreciate, Sally, your assistance with bringing Resi Prep on board as a partner. Resi
Yes.
Prep
Yes.
official pharmacy partner, which is amazing. And with being in a startup, the opportunities are endless.
Absolutely.
So if you are a pharmacy student and you want to get more, exposure or experience with a particular type of interest you have,
Right.
there's a spot for it. If you are a seasoned pharmacist and want to share your lived experience, your
Mhm.
expertise and skills um, through what you do in
Yeah.
your role, we can provide that for you. We can create a space for you for that. If you're outside of pharmacy and you want to come in, and partner up
Mhm.
and support
Yeah.
fellow and support healthcare professionals and pharmacists and pharmacy students in this particular day and age,
Yeah.
we can create that space for you. The call to action here would
Yeah.
be to engage with us, to connect with us via email, social media. Please send me an email, contact at pharmacistpreceptor.com. And you can also DM me directly. We respond rather quickly. Um, but yes, the other call to action is to shake up the status quo, um, not only in what you do in a positive way, but
Mhm.
also have these conversations with yourself. There's
Mhm.
ways that you can um, confront and shake up that status quo
Mhm.
in a positive way.
In a positive way. Yeah. And I'm so excited to be partnering. It's so wild to say out loud, but I am incredibly excited to be partnering with Pharmacist Preceptor because, as I said, I am a part of such a short period of time in the student's journey. I try to be make myself available to them early. We engage in all this, but to partner with Pharmacist Preceptor now, it's an opportunity for me to build relationship with students earlier, and we could actually start working on your residency goals much sooner than starting that summer in July or August. Shameless plug, registration is open right now. Registration is open right now. Hit me up and I'll walk you through it. But I like the idea that there could be more than one of us working together to help fill this massive hole in pharmacy education. I feel this is a personal opinion of mine that many pharmacy schools and colleges of pharmacy, the focus is getting you through the didactic and the academic portion of your education. And
Yes.
there's very little effort that is spent on helping you with your postgraduate and even that new practitioner window
Yes.
where so many of us change jobs like in the first 5 years. And if you even look at the data of how many job changes happen, it's just because like we are legit making it up as we go along until we hope something sticks. So what I am really excited about with what you're working on building is having those job switch be very intentional and part of a larger strategic plan
Mhm.
to helping the pharmacists get to a place where they're like, I have the work life balance, I have the mental wellness, physical wellness, I'm able to flourish here. My creativity even is allowed to flourish here a little bit. Um, what a thought.
Right.
What a thought. What a vision. What a mission. And I want to commend you for the audacity of dreaming it up and actually moving forward with it and creating something to attack it.
Yeah.
You
I think,
know?
well, it was either like, oh, like if I move into another position, should I wait for someone to see my worth?
Uh-huh.
Will I receive that type of, not that I'm like seeking it, but yeah, maybe
But
I'm seeking it. Maybe I need to feel valuable and appreciated and worthy in my role as a pharmacist. And yeah, be and feel respected. And I think that's not a hard ask. And I think if I'm able to create that space, that company culture, of
yeah.
transparency, authenticity,
Mhm,
clarity,
mhm,
equity,
mhm,
equality,
mhm.
and why not pursue it? And
Yeah,
as creatives, you and
yeah,
I,
yeah.
speaking to the creatives out there, I know that being a pharmacist, we're in our, we think a certain way and it's strategic, very, objective.
Mhm.
Being a creative, the
Mm.
wonderful part of it, for me, I can only speak from my experience, is that, yeah, the sky is the limit.
Yes.
There are so many opportunities. And
Yes.
we can, yeah, shake up that status quo, change the narrative.
Yeah,
We have certain things that we're in control of
yeah.
as individuals who hold PharmDs.
Mhm.
No one can take that away from us, except for the board, of course. But we went through,
Yeah, except to them. I think that's funny. Yeah,
but
I
and
agree. Sorry, go ahead, please.
I was just gonna say, like, the vision is, it's well intentioned, and
Yeah.
it's to bring together a community.
Mhm.
Creativity takes community, and to come together as a profession. I know
Mhm.
that as pharmacists, maybe this is my perspective, or the perspective that I had for some time, is that we're rather competitive, and
You
yeah,
don't say.
we need to bring those walls down and uplift each and every
Oh
one
my
of us.
god. I
So
agree. I agree. I think that we are realizing something, and it has really helped with fostering collaboration. Um, because yes, it's to say that we are competitive, it's such a gross understatement, Rod. That's just it's like you have to put something else in front of competitive. It's like fiercely competitive. That's more like an accurate
yeah,
description of our personality and high achievers, right?
yes.
So for me as an entrepreneur, which is still the word tastes really weird in my mouth when I say it, but I I think I am an entrepreneur. I believe I am an entrepreneur.
Mhm.
What's been really interesting about putting that hat on when I'm working on Resi Prep stuff and I'm engaging with folks about Resi Prep and what it is that thing you just described, the fact that I don't have guidelines that I need to function within. I don't have clearly delineated lines and boxes. Like, I am allowed here to show up fully and wholly in my truest form, which
Mhm.
is just like passion forward. Like, it's just my passion for pharmacy education and for wanting to see people truly, truly effectuate their highest potential and
Yes.
helping them have the confidence in themselves to go for it. Like, I
Yes.
want you to envision your wildest and biggest dream, and let's target that. Like, let's go for
Yes.
that. Let's prepare to compete for that. And like, I'm in your ear like a hype man, like that's the passion that I have. And when I'm engaging about Resi Prep, like all of those inhibitions that like I have as a pharmacist and making sure I better do the calculation twice, make sure that the dose is correct. I better double check with the doctor to make sure this is really the direction. I don't have that. And there is an intoxicating feeling about that has been rather liberating, I have to say. To use my knowledge as a person who went through a journey as a pharmacy student and then a resident to help guide others. But when I'm engaging with you and we're sharing our stories as entrepreneurs and things like that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not insane. At least about this, I'm not insane. Like, because like Rod is validating a lot of these thoughts and feelings that I have, and so like, what's been that that thing that you feel that becoming an entrepreneur has revealed to you about yourself? Like,
Mm.
I want you to go first, and then maybe I'll share mine. Like,
That's,
what did you discover about yourself since starting Pharmacist Preceptor?
that's such a good question. So, what's been very revealing, and I think it goes back to what you were talking about, the egoic self, like being competitive, being in a state of scarcity, doubt,
Yes, yes.
trust, low self worth.
Ah,
So, with regards to, yeah, going back to our theme, shaking up the status quo,
yeah.
and either accepting or rejecting these things in our
Mhm.
life, and maybe rejecting those parts that weren't vibing, you know,
Yeah.
that weren't in alignment with
Mhm.
values.
Mhm.
Um, I've been able to lean into my true self,
Yes.
or
Yes.
the true self, being in a place of abundance
Yeah.
and trust, and there's love and there's support,
Yeah.
collaboration, there's partnerships,
Mhm.
there's work life strategists and service specialists. Like, it's just a different way of living, and it's a different perspective. And
Mhm.
the role itself, entrepreneurship, the entrepreneurial role is super lonely.
Yes.
It
Talk
is
about it.
it's lonely because you're not able to share the burden with anyone else. You're not
Mhm.
able to talk about things that are going on in
Yeah.
your role.
Mhm.
They assemble a team, but they don't take on those, those struggles. You
Yeah.
take it on yourself. So, as entrepreneurs, through finding your community, there's Start Out, which has been wonderful for LGBTQIA plus individuals who are entrepreneurs across the country.
Oh.
There are there are communities in our own. There are organizations and networks within our own communities.
Yeah.
In Honolulu, we have Entrepreneur Sandbox. We have
Oh,
um,
cute.
Malia Fodi Consulting, who helps local businesses to flourish in Hawaii.
Yeah.
And also, like, being here in Hawaii, it's allowed me to realign my values with, yeah, being a community pillar,
Yeah.
helping people, here, because we're in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Even
Yeah.
though I am here on island in Oahu. Um, I feel more connected, more present to everyone
Wow.
on the mainland. When I was in New York, like forget about for
Yeah.
like I was just working, 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 50, 60, 70 hour weeks.
Yeah. Oh my
You know,
gosh.
the whole universe revolved around New York, revolved around me. So coming to Hawaii, taking that step back,
Back.
perspective, I'm able to like see, and there's no like College of Pharmacy here on island. There's a College
Yeah.
of Pharmacy on Big Island. Um,
Mm.
so it's making me understand what resources, what tools do I have as a pharmacist here in this,
Yeah.
and what are the resources and tools you have, Sally, in
Yeah.
the community? And that goes for everyone else who's watching, everyone else who's in pharmacy,
Yeah.
they're supporting us, allowing us to be successful in our roles. So hopefully with Pharmacist Preceptor, we can bring that all under one roof,
Yeah.
services to help those pain points, whatever they are,
Yeah.
um, and yeah, and deliver, make us more successful.
Yeah. That's so amazing because I don't know if I thought, but like I don't know. Again, in my head, being in Hawaii, I just think like I'd be just floating and like it'd be so amazing because it's so beautiful. Like like but people live here. Like it's a place with full community needs and gaps in care and gaps and a whole bunch of other systems um, and I'm so happy you found that. I'm so happy you found that,
Thank you.
especially after what you've endured in the last couple of years. That's amazing. And I think like just that alone, you have so much that you can offer folks that are coming out and starting brand new in their careers. That speaks volume to your resilience. I'm so happy we did this. And the vibe I'm getting is this is probably not the last time you're gonna see me and Rod have a conversation. Every time I talk to him, it's just super pleasant. It's just super nice. It's very easy. So we will likely brainstorm on another topic and come back and come back to you guys. I'm so incredibly grateful to everybody who joined us. And I will give Rod the final word. And
Uh,
again, we just can't thank you enough for doing
you.
this with us today. You, sir, will have the last word.
Thank you so much. So really quick shout outs to University of Arizona College of Pharmacy
Yeah.
for their support.
Mhm.
I mentioned Tara Malia Foti Consulting, Start Out, Entrepreneur Sandbox, the Pharmacist Preceptor team,
Yeah.
Dr. Shida Rahimzadeh, Dr. Stephen Dudley, Natasha Adamov, Dr. Sonia K. Boone, the audience members, and finally, Sally.
Oh my
Thank
God.
you so much for providing this platform, for helping pharmacy school students, helping residents pursue, this career trajectory. I I wish I had your services when I was in pharmacy school. Um,
You.
we share a similar client pool.
Yeah.
We want to help
Mhm.
pharmacy professionals be successful. We want them to land that residency, to land the interview, and to achieve work-life balance the way that they see fit.
Mhm.
So when you and I speak, I feel like we're speaking the same language, um,
Absolutely.
and with our partnership, like it just builds trust. It builds
Mm.
brand awareness and
Yes.
visibility, and we
Yes.
just can continue this conversation, which I can talk about all day with you. It's easy.
It
Um,
really is.
yeah, it
It
really
really is. It really, really is. I
is.
love it. I love, love, love connecting with you. It's so easy. I'm so grateful. Again, thank you, really and truly. And for everybody who is unable to join us live, if you're watching this on playback, we kindly ask you to like and share whatever tidbits you learn. Share with someone else. direct them to pharmacistpreceptor.com.
Yes.
Direct your students to resiprep.com. Direct your students to pharmacistpreceptor.com, because as a brand new partner, they'll be able to find me there as well. But we are pretty much present across all platforms, right? LinkedIn, Instagram,
Mhm.
Twitter, and now Thread. I'm on Thread. You're on Thread now too, right?
Hard to keep up with these social media
It
sites.
really is.
Yeah.
It really is. So we are pretty much, we should not be difficult to find.
Right.
Um, Rod is at Dr. Rod Bastani, right? On all these platforms,
Yes.
and at Pharmacist Preceptor on all of the platform as well. You
Yes.
will find me at ResiPrep 360 and on YouTube, Sally Traori Ualaka. But we are just grateful for you joining us today. And again, if you're watching it on playback, share. It will never be too late to share this. So please share and please like. And as we said, we're on LinkedIn. Feel free to LinkedIn message
Yes.
Rod. Feel free to LinkedIn message me with your questions, or if you're interested in signing up to be a preceptor on pharmacistpreceptor.com.
Mhm.
Rod is welcoming everybody from all functional areas.
Mhm.
So, just the takeaway point here is that we are looking for you. We are looking for experienced pharmacy practitioners that are interested in giving back. And I'm always interested in more pharmacists that want to share their perspective and their experiences, so students can be better prepared for what's ahead. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you
We
so
will
much.
sign off, but the conversation continues as our inboxes, those they stay open.
They're
Thank
all-
you, everyone, and please have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Sally.
Of course.